सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ओम ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम येरिमे गुरुवे पूर्वं पदवाक्य प्रमाणतः व्याख्याता सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करम्। ओम समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो नमः। मंडूकमहर्षि गौडपादाचार्यवर्याय आद्य शंकराचार्य सद्गुरवे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम अथ अथर्ववेदान्तर्गत माण्डूक्योपनिषत् शान्ति मंत्रः। ओम भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम अथ चतुर्थ प्रकरणम् अलाथ शांति प्रकरणम्। ओम प्रज्ञप्तेः सनिमित्तत्वम् इष्यते युक्तिदर्शनात् निमित्तस्यानिमित्तत्वम् इष्यते भूतदर्शनात् चित्तं न संस्पृशत्यर्थं नार्थाभासं तथैव च अभूतो हि यतश्चार्थः नार्थाभासस्ततः पृथक्। Now be careful. We are, by God's Guru's grace, are given this opportunity of studying Mandukya, Karikas with Bhashya, which are the highest. If at all something greater than this is what? Is only the Brahma Sutras and all. But Brahma Sutra is not a particular text. It is also actually a Smriti only. It is all Upanishads, etc. Vyasa Bhagavan brings whatever the differences in them into one place. In Upanishads, this is ultimate. In this, the mantras, very highest level. We are given this opportunity. We are trying to see, trying to open up our intellects, to open up what is said there for our understanding, so that our life is opened for the liberation. Now, how much ever the discussion is focused on the Dvaita Nivrutti, for that the Akshepana is done on Nayayika Vaisheshika as well as Sankhya. All of them are not the goal of Advaitin. Advaitin's goal is only to be established in Ekameva Advayam Brahma. This positive intention you keep it, because that is a Mukti Hetu. That enlightenment, that realization. Now, what is becoming obstruction for it is our normal, ordinary, common experience of the duality. Now, this duality, as long as it is experienced, so long we can't experience non-dual self. As long as the duality of swapna is experienced, the non-dual waking cannot be. So, in various Upanishads, in various techniques, through various techniques, by various gurus, through various examples, they gave so many sadhanas, the Advaita gurus, for only purpose of slowly reducing the impact, the influence, and the importance that is given to the Dvaita Jagat. Among all of them, all those knowledges, logics that are given to reduce the importance given to the Dvaita for the purpose of Advaita Anubhuti is the Mithyavada and Mayavada. This Dvaita is Mithya, Maya. Therefore, it is not real. Therefore, don't give it importance like reality. And then don't suffer. And don't miss the real reality. And a step more even than this, Mithyavada and Mayavada is the Ajatavada. Now, in the Ajatavada, though there is seeming bitterness of rejecting Dvaita, but is only to give us the Amrita of the Advaita Anubhava. Is it not? For giving us the Advaita Anubhava Amrita, the Dvaita is being rejected to the extent of it is not even Jata. And it's the highest standpoint. Because whatever amount you discuss about the snake, first of all, the whole discussions depend on the snake being there. Snake is not even born there. Then every discussion is waste or not. Therefore, what is the only discussion that is worthy to decide that the snake was never born? Why only this is required? Because the rope which is existing need not be discussed about. It is experienced. What is obstruction? Is this Dvaita. Never decide that this Dvaita is never born. In the decision of Dvaita never born, what is always is experienced. That is Advaita Atma, the rope. That is why here the Karikakara is putting all his logics and efforts to give us the highest understanding about impossibility of Dvaita even to be born, even temporarily, even to be imaginarily also. Only the Advaita Brahma. And all these will click to us, as I am saying every day, that when we are so regular and when we are daily hundreds of times saying, Om Shri Shrutimatre Namaha, Om Shri Samasta Brahmarshi Guru Paramparaye Namaha, Gurubhyo Namaha, when we keep on praying to them, they will make our brains intellects sharp enough to enter into the deeper understandings of these logics. Waki, then as they are feeling, so to us. Like a person who is mastered Mandukya in his sadhana. He is experiencing Brahma Anubhava. When anything is presented in front of him, his outlook is what? It is not there. Brahman alone is there in that form. He will do required vyavahara. If it is a medicine to be taken for the body, he will take. If it is any bhogavastu, it is not required for the deha, he will reject. That vyavahara, while doing so, he knows that ajata. Remember, when Ajata accepted all bhaya about Janma, Jara, Mrityu and all asakti during the Sthiti Kala for Kama Bhoga, everything goes away. These are the only two things bind us. The desire for the things as we are alive and the fear when it is shown that we are going to die or the thing is being taken away from us. All this will go away. And as we said 2 days back, the all blissful Brahman is always intact, available for us without any diminishing in that. The infinitely blissful self is always intact for you when we reject the Dvaita as unborn. You're not losing anything. Is it not? No, when you heat up the milk, we are losing nothing at all if it goes away. Is unnecessarily added water goes away, is it not? The pure milk with all its quality remains only with you. In the same way, by the rejection of Dvaita, you are rejecting only problems. It is just like dream. By rejecting the dream, definitely some sukha of the dream may be going away. Remember, the major chunk of disturbances, troubles, problems, responsibilities, egos, फाइटिंग्स जितने थे ड्रीम में सारा जो संसार था वो सब चला गया कि नहीं बट देन सेकंड इज वन इन ड्रीम both sukha dukha are delusion you have risen above the delusion baba when you wake up more than that you are into a different plane of experience called as waking in the same way when we establish in ekameva advayam brahma Ultimately, we are in a different plane of bliss and beatitude. We have awakened to, and also we have freed ourselves from the delusion that there are two things called as Sukha and Dukkha, Lava and Hani, Janma and Marana. It's all delusion, they are not there. This is how in the Alatha Shanti, in the earlier portion of first 40-50 slokas, Bhagavan, Karika, Kara, Shankara, Bhagavan together are trying to develop. Oh, now the latest topic is very interesting, very powerful, very relevant. What is that? For the Pragnapti, Nimitta is required. Because the Nimitta is required for Pragnapti, there is two things. The Pragnapti, the knowledge of the thing, and the Nimitta, the object of which the knowledge is. So when I see a bucket, I am seeing the bucket. Bucket Pragnapti is there in me because there is a bucket. This is what the Purva Pakshi says. Then I tell you what level of thinking the Siddhanti takes the Purva Pakshi to, if he is available, is mind boggling, mind blowing. He says, Pragnaptehe sanimittattvam ishyate yukti darshanat. By the darshana or the vision or the understanding of yukti, for the pragnapti, nimitta is required. I am telling you, for bhuta darshanat, when you do the darshana of the bhuta, the being which is behind that nimitta, then nimitta itself is not there. Be attentive to listen to this next sequence of explanations. Yes, I have seen a bucket. Without bucket, the darshana cannot happen. Clear? Understood? In my chitta, there is a pragnapti about a balti bucket. Let us not kick it immediately. We'll kick off all our sadhana is over. It is true. Bucket is out there. I have seen, and therefore the pragnapti happened. Now the analysis is don't conclude there. Go into the bhuta of the bucket, the ultimate cause of the bucket. Remember, when you go to the ultimate cause of the bucket, you will enter into the Satchit only now. Now remember, in that Satchit is the bucket there. In the Satchit bucket is not there. Therefore, is that bucket there in front of you? Actually, it is not there. But do you experience the bucket in your mind? Yeah. Therefore, without being the bucket there, still you are able to experience the bucket. Therefore, for experiencing the bucket called as pragnapti, the object need not be there. Point one. Then how come the thing is what? The same Satchit there, be attentive, there in the form of bucket accepted by me, in the form of pragnapti in the mana accepted by me. That's the only thing. Otherwise, the seer in me in the chitta, the see in the bucket, both are actually Satchit only. It has taken two forms there as Balti, here as seen, whereas both of them are not there. The seer of Balti, if you go into the Bhuta of Imma, he is also Paramatma Tattva. In the Paramatma, are there Indriyas and Mana? No. Then how can you see the Balti? So ultimately, देखा जाए, in the seer, there is no seer of the Balti. In the seen Balti, there is no seen Balti. Then what is that? That which is beyond seer and seen, the seer and seen are shown as the seer of Balti and seen Balti. Bucket. This is called the highest logic. That's what it says. Nimittasya animityatvam ishyate bhuta darshanat. Now we have to pause for many, many hours at this logical point for it to enter into us. Because the balti is an effect, a bucket. It has its own cause, and all causes have it their primordial cause. The primordial cause will be Satchit only, and in that Satchita, none of the subsequent causes can be there because it is so pure, immutable, unchangeable. That means what? Neither bucket is there real, nor the pragnapti of the bucket also is there real in me. This is the power of the delusion. And what is the power of delusion? Insisting not to recognize the common one without second self. If that insistence is dropped, one without second self is obtained or observed or seen, then the delusion will not be there of this drashta and drushya. दृष्टा के बिना दृश्य नहीं है, दृश्य के बिना दृष्टा नहीं है, बट दोनों म्यूचुअली रिलेटेड है. इन दृक् स्वरूप both of them are not there. Druk, when you don't know as druk, then it will be divided as druk drishya, drashta drishya. So yukti darshanam vastunah tattatva abhipagame karanam iti atra. Pruhi kim tataha iti uchyate. We saw yesterday. I am just repeating only to say that this is also logic here. फिर शब्द प्रत्यय निरोधात न एव निमित्तम फलवामहे इति अर्थः. When you go into deeper and causes, you have to accept the balti is there without cause, therefore without cause something cannot be there, therefore it is not there. Or you have to say the balti is nothing but Paramatma alone. Paramatma cannot be one without second again ultimately. Then where is the perception of the world happening? A part of which a balti example we have. Only in your own mind's delusion. Mind is deluded by its own natural seeing of the non-existing world. This mind, when it tries to see the self, because it can't see the self, it will merge in the self. That is the experience of the self, in which again the whole world is not there. As long as this tracing into the self is not started, the world remains real, both to give us sukha and dukkha, both are bandhanam. So, nimittasya animittatvam ishyate bhuta darshanat. Therefore, when you go into the balti or bucket's cause, bucket is not there. Because it is such a cause called as Paramatma, in whom the bucket cannot be there at all. How can there be bucket in Paramatma? That's the sadhana, that is Vedanta. All buckets cannot exist without Paramatma. And there is no bucket in Paramatma. All electrical equipments exist because of electricity. But in the electricity, there are no equipments. Sorting out this is called as going into next level of subtlety. Understanding and accepting this is called as becoming sukshma. First time it will not come. Second, third, fourth, 10th time, any reason. Slowly the inner lower mind starts accepting and agreeing. Then only we have evolved. Like in education, you accepted 7th class, 8th class, 9th, 10th. You reject it, you go back in the earlier class only. Here also, immediately it won't come to our acceptance, but slowly, steadily, this comes to our acceptance. What is that? All baltis are because of Lord, but in the Lord there are no baltis. Therefore, is there a balti? No. If it all there, it is none other than Bhagavan. And what about me? I am also Bhagavan only ultimately, like the balti. Therefore, where is me, the seer and the balti? In the ignorance of Bhagavan. When the knowledge of Bhagavan or Paramatma happens, neither seer of balti nor balti. Balti means Jagat, entire Srishti. Just like in the power of non-thinking, the entire Dvaita is created and appearing as reality. So too, in the power of logical thinking, we rise above all reality given to creation to such an extent, we come to the Karikakaras level, creation never happened, Ajatavad. The earlier power was binding us. This power, logic, will slowly liberate us. Now he says, Chittam na samsprushati artham na arthabhasam tathaiva cha abhuto hi yataschartha नार्थाभासस्ततः पृथको. Chittam na samsprushya artham. Therefore, chitta never contacts the object. And also, na arthabhasam, chitta never contacts the knowledge of the object. Hare, why are you saying so? Because abhuto hi atacha artha. Because the object is not at all there. When the object is not there, how can there be knowledge of that object for the chitta to be known? How all these are understood? They are understood by recognizing in the balti that there is no balti. How? By tracing to the cause of the balti as Paramatma. Where is all this discussion happening? Not in the open eye, the balti, which you want to use it. In the closed mind, when you closed eyes, where you are deeply contemplating intellectually. So can the bucket stay without plastic? No. Plastic, can it be without the earth? No. With the earth, can it be without the water and the fire and the air and akasha? No. Can all of them be there without the mind? No. Can the mind be there without pure consciousness? No. Paramatma. This is a logical thing. What we do without using this intellectual subtle logic of seeing the causes, what I says that it is a plastic, what Ian says that it is this type of hard it has got, only that we take it as real, which is required only for Vyavahara. The moment you rise above the Vyavahara or even Deha identity, you don't need even Balti. Nahane ki zarurat nahi. Nahana is not for Jiva or Atma. You can't give bath to the Jiva. Bath is only for Deha. Bhojanadi also is for Deha, not for the Jiva. जीव का ये स्थूल भोजन थोड़े होता है, वो सूक्ष्म. उनको ज्ञान का भोजन चाहिए. But we are not ready to go into that level because we are comfortable in the stupid level of taking the world as real and having some kama krodha and continuing it. It's like a person who cannot get up morning. How can he be sent to army for training? ये जिंदगी भर ऐसा ही है. So he'll never be qualified to be an army person. So too, a person can't get up in the morning. How can he be taught Surya Namaskara and Asana? He will never. He'll be fit only for evening aerobics. Can't be for the morning yoga. In the same way, you and I, who have no guts and abilities to rise above this world of indulgences, we will never have the desire, interest to study such powerful logics and enhance our knowledge and understanding. हमको क्या है, एक नौकरी मिल जाए, बीवी बच्चे हो जाए, ठीक सैलरी हो जाए, सब हमारा प्यार करें, अब खुश हो, सुख संसार. This is the worst life from the comparison of spirituality. As a human being, you did not come to be comfortable with your family, etc., like a buffalo or any animal. That is required, but not maximum. It is minimum. Beyond that is this pursuance of spirituality. But that requires a guts. We are not doing duty here. We are indulging in the world. The one really duty oriented, he takes Paramatma as the duty, not the samsara as intelligence. परमात्मा का तो मेन ड्यूटी है, ये बाकी तो थोड़ा करके आना है. You can't indulge in the world. But we are not evolved in this understanding. We were never told. We never gave importance to that. We are not even aware that I am a jiva in this body going through prarabdha for my own evolution. वहां तक कि हम नहीं पहुंचे. वहां नहीं पहुंचे तो how can all this knowledge be applicable to our intellects? So chittam na samsprushati artham na arthavasam tatha evacha. Why? Abhuto hi atah cha artha. Because object ही नहीं है, फिर अर्थाभास तथा पृथक. Then how can there be अर्थाभास without the artha being there? That is what. Therefore, in the chitta there is no object, still it has got. Therefore, entire Vishwa is chitta nirmita. That is what. As we gave the example, take the entire earth, entire cosmos. All of that is in space only finally. Space is in the mind is in conscious self only. Conscious self is that which cannot be modified or changed. Therefore, what Chitta is seeing is not the Prapancha, and what Chitta is seeing is Paramatma. But can the Paramatma be seen by Chitta? No. Therefore, the effort of Chitta to see Paramatma is making the Jagat appear. Then what is to be done? Chitta ko transcend karo. What remains is Paramatma in your Anubhava. That is why Chitta also to one level helps only in getting intellectual knowledge. But when the experience is concerned, we have to rise above Chitta also. Otherwise, the Chitta creates again a concept about God. God is not a concept, it is an experience. Experience wise, every Mahatma, every religion has only one of Bhagavan, Ekam Sattvam. When they came to explain, then they explained about in different forms. Hmm. So, this is very important. Remember, Karna, Chittam na samsprushati artham. Bahya alambana vishayam. Artham bahya alambana vishayam. Na api arthabhasam चित्तत्वात् स्वप्न चित्तवतु अभूतो हि जागरिते अपि स्वप्नावर्तवत् एव बाह्य शब्दादि अर्थः यथा उक्त हेतुत्वात् च सो न अपि अर्थाभास चित्तात् पृथक् सो चित्तम एव हि घटादि अर्थवत् अवभासते यथा स्वप्ने therefore just like in the dream में the dream objects also is mana waking mind which is called dream then dream objects knowledge also waker mind's mind only no waker mind's mind became a person's mind in the dreamer's mind. But in the dreamer's mind, there is an information about the things and beings around us, our world. No? Yeah. So all that information which is abhasa in him called knowledge here, वो भी क्या है वेकर माइंड ही है so too in the waking plane also the two things the vastu prapancha is manokalpita kalpita vastus jnanam also is manokalpita object and knowledge of object. Vastu and Vastu's Artha Abhasa. Artha is Vastu, Abhasa is knowledge of the object. Both are Chitta only. Therefore, where is the Balti in my own mind? Where is the knowledge of the Balti? That also is in the mind only. In the self, there is no Balti. In the Balti, there is no Balti. This is called the mystical way of saying. Do you know? In the world, there is no world. This is the highest mysticism. Just now I said no. In the Balti, there is no Balti. In the pot, there is no pot, my dear. If you can understand what is the standpoint, then you have got it. In the ornament, there's no ornament. Anything you talk, it's like that only. In the tree, there's no tree. When we said in the world, there is no world, it's over. Everything added in that. In the wave, there is no wave, my dear. When you go into the cause. Here also, abhuto hi jagarite. नापि अर्थाभासः चित्तात् पृथक् चित्तम् एव हि घटादि अर्थवत् अवभासते यथा स्वप्ने चित्त only like the घटादि object and the knowledge of the object both of them are chitta kalpita. Now the common question which comes to all of us obviously when you listen this because our experience is so solid about the world's presence we are taking the balti and taking bath every day. अगर आज कही दिया बाल्टी नहीं तो कल से you can't take bath. यार बाल्टी नहीं तो बॉडी भी नहीं है तो you need not take bath only. You know, while taking bath, if you can say this is given to the deha, not to the jiva, that itself is great sadhana. Even giving food, food is given to the deha, not to the jiva in me. Now, nano viparyasa taribhavati. Then there will be a contradiction. What is that? Asati ghatadau. Without Ghata being there, Ghata the Abhasta Chittasya, that Chitta got the knowledge of the Ghata. Then what happened? Tata cha Satya Viparyasa. Tata cha Satya Viparyasa Kvachit Vaktavya iti Atra Uchyate. So, one thing is what? It is a confusion that there is no object, but how the Chitta has got the knowledge. Second is what? Uh, there is somewhere this knowledge also happening. How it is happening? Object is not there. You have proved there is no quality, but there is Chitta. In the Chitta, there is a knowledge of bucket is happening. It should not happen. If it is happening, where is the source of that happening? What is the source? So this is very, very important shlokam. Nimittam na sada chittam samsprushati advasutrisho animitto viparyasaha katham tasya bhavishyate. Nimittam na sada chittam samsprushati animitto viparyasaha katham tasya bhavishyate. Two things. One, there is no balti. Therefore, in the chitta, there should not be the this pratyabhignya of the balti, this pragnapti of the balti. Balti is disproved, but still pragnapti is there. So that pragnapti of the balti, there should be some source for it. The question. The answer is what? Again, as we now said 5-10 minutes back, the source is Paramatma only, but in the Paramatma, there is not even Chitta. What to talk about the Pragnapti even of the anything in the Chitta? Chitta hi nahi hai to kahan se? Then what's that's what we are saying here. See the self, they are not there. If you don't the self, they alone are there. Therefore, all our insistence, like Dvaitins so far, is to accept or reject the Dvaita. Dvaitins accept Dvaita, Advaitins reject Dvaita. In doing so, both of them are in Dvaita. Now you understand what is the standpoint of Karikara when he said, Vyodamo na taisartham. Advaitam nivodata. No, we don't do Vivada with them because if we do Vivada, you have to accept it. It's like wife and husband fighting. क्या नाम लगाए बच्चे का क्या नाम लगाए? No, it is all unnecessary. The child is not born only. That's why they all are funny notions to name the child much before it is born. It's wrong. It is never correct. Only when actually falls on the earth, then seeing his own Janma Nakshatra Rashi, there are some aksharas. According to that, that name you have to give. पहले तो लड़का है कि लड़की ही बताने लड़का है तो ये रखेंगे लड़के है तो ये रखेंगे all that is nonsense. It should not be entertained. I'll let them be born, and according to nakshatra you do. If you have given name according to nakshatra, so much good you have done for that jiva. If you have not done that, he'll be called by everybody with that funny name which you gave, all suffering. I explained it more, but that is not our point. Point is, our Advaitin, why he doesn't argue with the Dvaitin? Because while arguing, you have to accept it. हम एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं कर रहे तो आर्ग्यू क्यों करें? So there's no object, then still chitta has got this pragnapti. How is it possible? There should be some reason. No, that's what we are saying. In the reason is Paramatma, but in the Paramatma there is no Dvaita. There was no pragnapti possible. Then what is to be done? This drama is done by the mind, which is Maya at play. What is the way to be done for that? Mame me prapadyante. Hold on to the Advaita Atma, the Dvaita Jagat along with the creator of that called the Maya, the Mana, they go away. That's called Mamaive Prapadyante. What we are doing, without doing Mamaive Prapadyante, we want to Maya Vetam Taranti. Without sitting on the boat, you want to cross the river. Are you sit, automatically you will cross. Without sitting, you will never cross. So too, when you do the prapatti to Paramatma Ekameva Advayam, already you will cross the Maya. If without doing that, you will not cross. All type of sadhakas are there. One type is what? Never talk about Dvaita, only talk about Advaita and establishing that. Others are there, only talk about Dvaita but reject it, they also reach to Advaita. Third type are there. They talk about Dvaita to reject it, but never reach to Advaita because they never hold on to that. We are like that. We talk only Dvaita rejection, but we don't reject it actually because we never held on to Advaita. Like the sannyasi never gets Paramatma because he is giving up the world only, but not holding to Paramatma. Any threaded sannyasi, any variety of sannyasi, when he is only giving up the world and never holding on to the Lord, he is not a sannyasi. On the other hand, even in Grahastha Asana is there, but he is holding on to the Lord, he is true sannyasi. He need not give up the world because when you hold Lord, you can't hold other thing. दो हाथ है, दोनों हाथों भगवान को पकड़ा, आप किसको पकड़ोगे? Sannyasi is holding to the Lord, not leaving the world. When you don't hold the Lord, you can't leave the world. What is the focus to be? More on holding the Lord. Same way, every sadhana. Don't try to reject the negative thoughts that are coming in mind. You will never be successful in that. Just go on having positive thoughts. Negative already goes away. So to hear Ekameva Advayam Brahma you establish, obviously the non-existing Dvaita will go away. Mamame prapadyante. So here, logically, to do this sadhana and to explain us the need of sadhana, logically told, there is no object, still the mind is seeing, it is mind's manipulation only. Don't do the manipulation of the world. Therefore, what to do? Merge in that Ekamavadvayan Tattva, your own mind, so that it is not born to accept or create the Dvaita. So, nimittam na sada chittam samsprushati advasu trishu. Sada trishu advasu chittam nimittam na samsprushati. In all three periods of past, present, and future, the chitta never touches the nimitta called as the vastu outside. मैं एक मजेदार बात कहता हूँ, you will not understand it, still I'll say. Somebody with his own mind created a balti and named it as balti and kept in front of you. And we are misguided by his own mind, and we also look at it and call it as balti. Matlab one mind mistaken Paramatma as balti, another mind again has trusted that fellow and called it as balti. This is called ande naiva niyamana etanda. Therefore, where is the balti? Created by his mind and accepted by your mind. But in reality, there is no balti. So where is the world? So Ishvara created by his mind, Jiva is accepting from his mind. Let Krishna create. If you reject from your mind, there's no world for you. That's why I said it is tough to understand. Somebody made it as house and called it as house, and you bought it, and you are also calling it as house, and you are living in it, that house. But there is no house. What is the Paramatma only? This sloka, chittam na nimittam na sada chittam samskrutati advasu trishu. Animitto viparyasa katham tasya bhavishyati. The knowledge of the object, how can it happen when the object never touched by the chitta? Chitta never touches object. Then how the object's knowledge is coming to chitta? Then what? It is chitta created only. Means what? Trusting the eyes and trusting the mind or chitta, which is trusting the eyes, is the creation of the thought of Balti in the mind. Other than that, there is nothing called a Balti or the world. There we have to become very sublime, very acute. Then only it will click to us. Ultimately, what is to be understood? It is our own mana sankalpa vikalpa which are creating or maintaining the non-existing world. In reality, world is not there. Therefore, what is the achievement of Ajatavada by Karikakara? In the world itself is rejected. All your not only problems are rejected, but your suffering struggles even to know the truth are rejected. You just become one with that. You will be that. That's it. Now I say nimittam means vishayam means atita anagata vartamana advasu means trishu api sada chittam na sprushet evahi. So in all the three periods of time, the chitta is never touching the object. Yadi kvachit samsprushet, if at all it is touching it, sa aviparyasa paramartha iti. Uh, hmm. So, यदि क्वचित् संस्पृशेत सः अविपर्यासः परमार्थः इति अतः तदपेक्षया असति घटे घटादि आभासता विपर्यासः स्यात् न तु तदस्ति कदाचिदपि चित्तस्य अर्थसंस्पर्शनं तस्माद् अनिमित्तः विपर्यासः कथं तस्य चित्तस्य भविष्यति न कथञ्चित् विपर्यासः अस्ति इति अभिप्रायः अयमेव हि स्वभावः चित्तस्य यद उत असति निमित्ते घटादौ तद्वद अवभासनम्. Interesting point it one. So, is there a pot which the mud is taking a shape of? Is there a pot which the mud is taking shape of? It's a good question. No, then there is no pot which the mud is taking shape of. Then third thing is what? Mud only is appearing in the form of a pot. Means what? It is a nature of mud to appear as pot. Here mud is not Paramatma, it is Chitta. Means what? Chitta only is appearing as the Bahya Jagat by Swabhava. There is no Bahya Jagat at all. Why? Because if the object of outer touches the Chitta, then the Chitta should have not forgotten that object and remember the other object. Like when I look at the balti, did my mind take form of that balti? That balti, yes, yes, if yes, it should have not taken other thing. Because उससे लिप्त लेपित हो गए ना. अगर नहीं लेपित है, then how it is seeing the other one? लेपित है तो how it will see that? If it is seeing, like when I look at here, I look at balti. If I look here, I am seeing a fan. So if my mind is touched by the balti there, I should not be able to see the fan. If I am able to see this man, this first one has not touched me. Then if it has not touched me, then how I am getting the experience of it? Chitta alone is appearing like that. This is the conclusion. Here also Chitta is appearing like that. He says here, Chittasya, ayam eva hi swabhava Chittasya. If you catch this one, you understood the entire mantra. This is the swabhava of the Chitta. Yata uta asati nimitte ghatadau. That even though the Gaudadi Nimitta nahi hone ke baajud, even if they are Tadvat Avabhasanam, appearing like that. Here what is accepted is Advaita Vedanta ki baat nahi hai यहाँ. Here the Dvaitin who said that for that Jnanam Pragnapte there is a Vaustu required outside. The Kshanikavadin, the Buddhists who rejected the presence of the outer world, we are using here as Advaita Vedanta. Then when he came to the point that from the Chitta everything is made, we Advaita Vedantin reject the Chitta also, only Ekameva Advaita is there. Up to this point in the discussion, what is arrived at is a outer world के बिना ही चित्त ही outer world के रूप में भास रहा है. Now, this is such a useful understanding, that we stop giving reality to the outer things and beings. When that is done, the samsara is gone. You come out of that zone. Like you are in my own chitta made by me, and your goodness or badness also is my own chitta. and therefore my love or hatred towards you also is my own chitta. Therefore, happiness, misery is becoming also is my own chitta, which is so true and solid. That is why even people are good, we misunderstand them. Even if they are bad, we attach to them. Actually, if the person is good, you should respect only him. No, if he is bad, you should reject. Both of them we do opposite means what? सब चित्त का ही खेल पता चल रहा है कि नहीं? Means what? At a deeper, only logical level, not valuing at the eye level, the acceptance of the entire being also, all also, is only as chitta kalpita. This deep thinking we don't have. Therefore, for us, chitta appears to be real. Like for a dreamer, he is sitting on the scooter and kicking it or starting it with a starter, moving it. वो सब इतना real लगता है उसको. When he wakes up, all of that is not real. यार कहाँ है वो? But at that time, पेट्रोल खत्म हो गया. Went and put the petrol and went for the air fellow. He said बहुत महीने हो गए तो 10-10 ही है तो 30-40 भरो. पीछे वाला 40, आगे वाला 30. स्कूटर है तो कार है तो. How many things we do in dreams? So solid. Everything which you experience in waking are experienced in dream. As if real. It can be burning in the fire, drowning in the river, or enjoying in a ride, eating a food, having a party, getting married again. Anything. Giving loan, taking loan. There also government takes wrong decisions and you also suffer it and you do take up an agitation, you become the leader. हमारे मांगे पूरी करो, all that you do. And there also you go and do agitation and police come, they do lathi charge, एक डंडा लग भी जाता है, खून भी बह रहा है आपको. Then everybody shouted and van came 108. अरे राम 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 राम. When we wake up, this gross road, the other people, the slogans, the shouting, the police वाला इसकी लाठी, उसका मार, उससे निकलने वाला खून, उससे होने वाला दर्द, with the ambulance coming and sitting in that and going to hospital. Which are the ones they are real? None. All mind created, no? That is what is the importance of the first two Agama and Vaitatya Prakaranas. Accept the difference of being gross. Whatever is there in dream alone is in the waking. Dream therefore being unreal, waking also unreal. This is what the Vedantic understand. And you should not contradict it by giving value to the world in our gross practice again. Except doing dharma, anything else we do, we contradict this knowledge. Then we don't establish in it. We have to establish in both of Jagat Nasti, Brahma Asti. You can't say both are there. Brahma Anubhuti, Jagat Rupena Asti after realization, not in the beginning. Now, ayam eva hi swabhava chittasya yad uta asati nimitte ghadadau taddad avasanam. अवतारिका प्रज्ञप्ते स निमित्तत्वम इत्यादि ए तदंतम विज्ञानवादिनः बौद्धस्य वचनम बाह्य अर्थवादी पक्ष प्रतिषेध परम आचार्येण अनुमोदितम्. So these three karikas, 24, 25, 26, 27 are the Kshanika Bauddhavadas, Vadins, Vada we took. Why what they were doing it? Bahya Arthavadi Paksha Pratisheda. Those who say बाह्य का वस्तु जगत निज निसत्य है उनको रिजेक्ट करने वाला वह था आचार्य ने अनुमोदितम और परम गुरु गौड़पाद took that and he accepted it. तदेव हेतुं कृत्वा तत्पक्ष प्रतिषेधाय तद इदम उच्यते तस्मादिति. Holding on to that standpoint, now he says, Tasmat na jayate chittam chitta drishyam na jayate tasya pashyanti ye jatim kevai pashyanti te padam. Tasmat na jayate chittam chitta drishyam na jayate tasya pashyanti ye jatim kevai pashyanti te padam. So after rejecting the Bahyarthavadin by taking the Bauddhavadis logic of disproving the outer world, now he is disproving even the Chitta, the Acharya, the Karikara. What he says, Tasmat na jayate chittam. Chitta also is not born. Chitta drishyam na jayate. Chitta ka drishya ka bhi janam nahi hua. Tasya pashyanti he jatim. If at all somebody are seeing the birth of the chitta and in the chitta birth of the world, kevai pashyanti te padam. They are seeing the footprints of birds in the sky. These 2, 3 mantras, they are so sublime. If that logic clicks to us, then a big hurdle we cross. What he says is, Yasmad asati eva gatadau gatadi abhasata chittasya vijnanavadina abhyagata tad anumohitam asmavi api bhuta darshanat tasmad tasyapi chittasya jayamana abhasata asati eva janmani yukta bhavitum iti atah na jayate chittam. Yatha chitta drishyam na jayate. See, chitta drishyam na jayate. You understand? A very interesting point. Without the outer drishya, chitta is appearing to be born as that drishya. In the chitta, drishya is happening. So without the balti, the thought of the balti happened in the mind. Now the next step is what? Just like without the balti, the thought of the chitta is happening chitta. In the same way, chitta itself, though it is not there, still it is appearing. Why it is said that in the chitta there is no object, still the object is perceived, which is the nature of chitta? Because any object, when you trace back, you will go back to the self only. That is a logic, not the grosser balti you talk. If you look at the balti, then he already said, Yukti taha accepted. हम तो ये युक्ति नहीं, हम तो भूत दर्शन के लिए जा रहे हैं. What is the yukti? Without the outer object, let us say table, in the mind, the table knowledge will not come. It is absolutely acceptable at the grossest level. Advaita Siddhanti can never argue against it, fight or disown. But here we are using the Bhuta Darshanadi Sukshma Paddhati. Where from the table is made, you see. Fine. In that, is the table here or not? No. Is that not the absolute truth? No. Yeah. Therefore, even your eyes are open. What you are seeing is not the table at all. When you don't see the table, how can the knowledge happen in the chitta? But still it is happening. Means without the objects outside, in the chitta, if the object's knowledge is happening, means there is chitta's manipulation only. And the next level is what? The presence of chitta itself is doubtable. It is not there, still appearing. Then what is there when you even reject chitta? That's what we say, only ekamevadvyam brahma. He says, tasmat yasmat chitta drishyam na jayate, tasmat chittam api na jayate. See, Bauddhavadi or Kshanikavadi said, no outer object there, but still chitta manipulated the object's presence. The Advaita Ajatavadi says, other than Advaita Brahma, no chitta is there. Yet it is appearing as if. So where is the Balti in its own absence? So to where is the Chitta in its own absence? If you can understand it, it is like that. Some of this topic is nice. We need to go a little more, one or two steps or notches deeper. I think it will help us so much in understanding that the world is not so real as we think. Yeah. Now, के वै पश्यन्ति तत्पदम् अतः तस्य चित्तस्य ये जातिं पश्यन्ति विज्ञानवादिनः क्षणिकत्व दुःखित्व शून्यत्व अनात्मत्वादि च तेन एव चित्तेन चित्तस्वरूपं द्रष्टुम् अशक्यं पश्यन्तः के वै पश्यन्ति ते पदं पक्ष्यादीनाम् अत इतरेभ्यः अपि द्वैतिभ्यः अत्यन्तसाहसिकाः इति अर्थः ये अपि शून्यवादिनः पश्यन्त एव सर्वशून्यतां स्वदर्शनस्यापि शून्यतां प्रतिजानते ते तथा अपि साहसिकतराः खं मुष्टिनापि जिघृक्षन्ति. These are little more subtler thoughts. They need some 10-15 minutes explanation. Tomorrow, these two things we will explain. What are the two things? That the chitta is itself manipulating the world, though the world is not there. Second point is chitta itself is a manipulation. What is real is Parabrahma only. Those things said in this shloka, we will thoroughly clearly see it tomorrow. Then same thing will be ajatam jayate asma ajat prakristadha prakriti anadavana katanjit bhavishyat is the one which we spoke in earlier karikas also, earlier chapters and earlier shlokas also. The nature of the self is aja, avyakruta, ajara and amrita. Therefore, self alone is always the same, in that neither the world is born, nor the world has modified, nor the world has become older, nor the world has disappeared. Therefore, what is that? Ajata Brahma only. Oh, these are the beautiful things. Actually, let us pray to Karikar and all as early as possible. We enter into the extent of this knowledge. From that standpoint, when you look at this world, there is no thing which is real for us to run behind for and get suffering. देखो, even Vyavahar, I tell you, when you are cheated by 3-4 people, is not the common sense comes? Ki people are like that only, therefore I have to be careful. Then, when a person honestly comes and helps, it is his goodness only. But honesty should be my own nature. And if I am honest, others will help me. This maturity comes or not in the Vyavahara. When 4-5 people cheat me, I understand the world is selfish, therefore they cheat us. Therefore, you have to be careful. So, too, there are some people who also help her. That is because of their nature. The third is what? Therefore, I should not be the cheat. I should be a person of helping nature. As we come to this in Vyavahara, so too when we understand a Vedanta, yeah, the whole world is not real, but it is only appearing in the mind. Why should I value that world which is in the mind unnecessarily? The next level is what? The mind itself is not real. Reality is only Paramatma. Why not establish in my own real self? Why manipulate the non-existing chitta and give attendance to it, attention to it, value to it, importance to it? Now, these are the higher things start clicking. That's called meditation. In meditation, we devalue the non existing chitta and world by knowing that they are non existing. The moment that is done, the self in its own pristine, eternal, unchangeable glory just revealed to itself because I will not be there to experience it as the separate experiencer. The self reveals to itself is the way of seeing it. And more appealing way of saying is you will experience yourself. It is appealing but very jhoot hai wo. How can I experience myself? Is it other than me or what? But ऐसा कहो तो मजा आता है शुरू में. अच्छा Swami, I'll experience my real self by which I am not identified with any no self and not self and I am no more bound by anything. Ja, You will experience your own self, and there's no other self, not self, called Dehendriyadi. Therefore, there's no need to attach with them. Therefore, you will not be samsari. But you don't understand that. How can I experience myself? Because there cannot be duality. Then what is actual thing? Self experiences itself in such a way that there is no triputi of experiencer, experiencing and experiencing. बट स्टिल देर इज एन अनुभूति of आनंद. जो किसी बंदे को अहंकार नहीं, आनंद चाहिए, इसलिए अहंकार को छोड़कर नींद में इतना आनंद पाता है. These are all subtle knowledges you have to gain. What is that? One is I want Ananda. Second is I am ready to sacrifice that Ananda, that ego for the sake of Ananda. That is what every day I am doing in Nidra. Therefore, in Vyavahara also, by sacrificing ego, I can be happy. This is what mature understanding. And at the ultimate spiritual understanding, ego, the jiva bhava alone is obstruction for bliss of Ananda, of the Atma. Therefore, drop this jiva bhava. You are Ananda Swarup. There is no thing called Ananda other than you, which you enjoy there. You are that. These are little abstract, seemingly abstract, subtle things. But when they are repeatedly said, listened, you will be able to become familiar with it. As we are becoming familiar nowadays through the study of Upanishad Ityadi of some wonderful things. Thank you. Om. Let us chant mantra. 27, 28. 29. Nimittam na sada chittam samsrushyatyadvasutrisho animitto viparyasa katam tasya bhavishyate. Nimittam na sada chittam samsrushyatyadvasutrisho animitto viparyasa katam tasya bhavishyate. निमित्तं न सदा चित्तं संस्पृशत्यध्वसुत्रिषु अनिमित्तो विपर्यासः कथं तस्य भविष्यते. तस्मात् न जायते चित्तं चित्तदृश्यं न जायते तस्य पश्यन्ति ये जातिं के वै पश्यन्ति ते पदं. तस्मात् न जायते चित्तं चित्तदृश्यं न जायते तस्य पश्यन्ति ये जातिं के वै पश्यन्ति ते पदं. तस्मात् न जायते चित्तं चित्तदृश्यं न जायते तस्य पश्यन्ति ये जातिं के वै पश्यन्ति ते पदं. तस्मात् न जायते चित्तं चित्तदृश्यं न जायते तस्य पश्यन्ति ये जातिं के वै पश्यन्ति ते पदम्. अजातं जायते यस्मात् अजातिः प्रकृतिस्तदा प्रकृतेरन्यथा भावः न कथञ्चित् भविष्यति. अजातं जायते यस्मात् अजातिः प्रकृतिस्ततः प्रकृतेरन्यथा भावः न कथञ्चित् भविष्यति. अजातं जायते यस्मात् अजातिः प्रकृतिस्ततः प्रकृतेरन्यथा भावः न कथञ्चित् भविष्यति. ओम 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 Om 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 Om. Today morning thought was the power of acceptance of prarabdha with three logics: acceptance of abilities, debilities, acceptance of opportunities as using, and acceptance of the result, worldly result, spiritual. Important thought today. It should be remembered at least a few times. Helps a lot. Thank you very much. 10 minutes more again for Bhashya Parayanam.